Hello, everyone. It's an honor to present at the 22nd International Conference on Sustainability Development, which is taking place in Colombo. My name is Rahul Mahajan, and I am a research scholar at NMIMS University in Mumbai. While I am a research scholar, I also have a 30 years of work experience in the technology management space. And out of these 30 years, the last 16 years are in the real estate technology management. This paper has been authored by me along with Dr. Jinu Kurian, who is my guide and co-author for this paper. Our presentation focuses on the adoption of sustainable digital technologies in the real estate sector, a domain which is significantly impacting both the economic growth and the environmental sustainability. Through a critical review of existing research, I will highlight the drivers, the challenges, and the future pathway for digital transformation that can help the real estate sector align with global sustainability goals. So let's begin, ladies and gentlemen. I will start by giving you all an introduction and background of the Indian context of real estate sector, followed by the literature review and the methodology that we followed for that. We will then discuss the key observations based on our systematic literature review and the classification of the papers that we analyzed. I will then discuss the main drivers and challenges to digital transformation in this sector, highlight the applications of Industry 4.0 technologies, and then in the end, we'll conclude by identifying critical research gaps and suggesting a way forward in the research domain. Indian real estate sector is a powerhouse in Indian economy, currently valued at about $493 billion, and it contributes 7.3% to the GDP of India. It is also the second largest employer after agriculture, providing 18% of country's employment. However, this economic engine comes with a significant environmental cost. This industry is a major consumer of energy and a source of greenhouse gas emission. And therefore, this highlights the urgent need to balance economic growth with environmental responsibility. Traditional practices do exist, but often they are manual and fragmented, which leads to inefficiencies. And this is where the need for digital transformation comes in. Adopting sustainable digital technologies such as Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, etc., can significantly reduce the carbon footprint while improving transparency, efficiency, and profitability. Our work is directly aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, specifically SDG 11, which is on sustainable cities and communities, and also SDG 13, which talks about climate action. In this paper, we are focused on understanding the critical factors that drive the adoption of these technologies and the obstacles hindering their implementation. To achieve the objectives of this study, we had set forth 4 research objectives. The first one is to identify the trends and approaches used in sustainable technology adoption within the real estate sector. The second one is to identify applications of Industry 4.0 tools in the sector. The third one is to identify the factors that impact the digital transformation. And finally, the last one is to identify the challenges to the digital transformation in the real estate sector. How did we go about the literature review and methodology? We conducted a systematic literature review. Our research was limited to English language papers from Scopus and Web of Science databases, which were specifically peer-reviewed journals and conference papers published between the years 2011 to 2025. We initially collected 65 articles. From this pool, then we selected 25 most relevant papers for a detailed review. Out of these 25, 13 focused on sustainable real estate, while 12 focused on digital transformation. This process allowed us to combine insights from both perspectives, sustainability as well as technology adoption. This is a flowchart depicting our systematic review framework. We started with the keyword selection and then applied our inclusion and exclusion criteria to filter the articles. And finally, we concluded with a deep dive analysis of most relevant papers to classify them and extract our findings. So what are these findings? Let's move to the findings. Out of the 13 papers on sustainability, it revealed several findings. Sustainability is a key factor for improving market value and operational efficiency. We observed that developed economies are leading in implementing sustainable practices. However, in the gaps, we also identified significant gaps. There is a lack of research in developing economies, especially in an India-specific context. And furthermore, only a few studies have created integrated models that combine both sustainability and technology. On the other hand, from the 12 papers on digital transformation, we found that technologies like artificial intelligence improve price forecasting and accuracy, while blockchain enhances transaction security and transparency. A lot of prop tech today are driving competition and overall efficiency. The main research gaps we found in these papers were the lack of holistic framework for technology adoption and limited amount of empirical research on the impact of these technologies, rather of the impact of these technologies. When we look at these papers, we classified them under four major categories: time frame, geography, technology, and methodology. From a time frame perspective, the highest number of papers were published in the year 2025, indicating that there is a growing focus on digitization in the sector in the recent years. Country-wise, China and Australia lead the research contribution with 2 papers each, amounting to about 17% of the papers reviewed in this category. Technology-wise, artificial intelligence was the most popular technology researched about and featured in 5 out of the 25 papers. And methodology-wise, most of the common approaches was the systematic literature review used in 50% of the papers. This slide just gives a graphical representation of the 4 categories that I explained to you just now. Time-wise, technology-wise, country-wise, and methodology-wise papers. Let's come to the key observations that we have in terms of drivers of digital transformation based on the papers that we reviewed. There are 15 such drivers that we identified. The most significant ones are sustainability goals, which is the need to meet environmental regulations, and that is a major driver. Smart city development, urbanization and smart city initiatives require digital infrastructure. Efficient and faster transactions, digital processes like smart contracts, streamline operations, and obviously save on time and costs. Improved decision making, artificial intelligence and data analytics provide insights for better property management and investments. Fraud prevention and risk mitigation, blockchain's secure ledger helps mitigate fraud and improve the security in real estate transactions. And most important in today's world, customer expectations. Modern buyers and tenants expect digital experiences like virtual tours and online listings. Together, these drivers show that digital transformation is no longer optional, but it is becoming a competitive necessity. On the other hand, when we looked at the 15 papers, when we looked at the challenges that are enlisted in these 15 papers, Some of the major challenges that we came across was high cost and slow ROI. Many companies struggle to justify the initial investment as the economic returns are not always clear in the short term. Lack of expertise. There is still a significant skill gap among stakeholders in advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain. Data privacy and security risks. Increased digitization introduces risks of data breaches and compliance issues. Cultural barriers. Older professionals and conventional businesses often resist change and prefer traditional methods still. And limited infrastructure. Poor internet connectivity and legacy systems make it difficult to adopt new technologies, and this is especially true in developing economies. So this clearly highlights the gaps between the potential and the practice. Having said this, some of the Industry 4.0 technologies are already deployed in real estate sector. And which are these Industry 4.0 technologies? We have BIM, Building Information Management System, which supports construction planning and facilities management. We have Internet of Things, IoT, which enables smart buildings and predictive maintenance. Blockchain is currently being used to ensure secure contracts. Artificial intelligence and big data have been used for analytics and improved decision making. Virtual reality and augmented reality are being used to enhance property visualization. And of late, digital twin technology allows real-time performance optimization. These applications have started making real estate more efficient, transparent, and sustainable. Having said this, we also identified certain critical research gaps. The most significant finding is that most studies on sustainability in real estate have been conducted in developed economies. As a result, this research area are still nascent in developing countries like India. Specifically, there is no published study on modeling the critical success factors or the drivers and barriers to sustainability in the real estate sector, especially in the Indian context. This is a major gap for the future research to fulfill. So what is the way forward? To address these gaps and accelerate digital transformation, a coordinated effort definitely is needed across the ecosystem. Therefore, we suggest a multi-pronged approach. Stronger government incentives need to be designed by the policymakers for sustainable technology adoption. The industry needs to work on upskilling the workforce in AI, blockchain, and IoT. The researchers need to work in using the decision-making tools like AHP, DMATL to analyze drivers and barriers. The infrastructure needs to improve for digital connectivity and interoperability standards. And as a whole, the entire ecosystem needs to collaborate. The collaboration has to happen amongst the policymakers, the tech providers, and the real estate firms for a coordinated adoption. To conclude, digital transformation holds immense potential to make real estate more sustainable, more efficient, and competitive. While challenges exist, with the right mix of policy support and industry readiness, and with the collaborative effort across the ecosystem, the sector can significantly contribute to climate goals while enhancing profitability and transparency. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.